based on what you're doing with this podcast, I mean, we hear a lot of the bad.
Yeah.
But do you walk away and feel the same, that there is hope? There was hope, despite the divisiveness?
Yeah, I think we've tried to have people on who were reasonable people you could have a conversation with across it, and not somebody from the crazy corners of either party. But I walk away with the feeling of, the two of us are from different parties and different backgrounds and so on, and we get along fine and can have conversations about issues we agree on and issues we don't agree on. And it's encouraging me to find out there's a lot of people like that in the world, and that's not what's rewarded necessarily in electoral politics. One of the things that I always admired about Howard Baker was, I think there were things more important to him than being reelected. And I think you saw that at things like the way he handled Watergate. I mean, the fundamental belief he had was that this is a wonderful country, this democracy is the best possible, or the best form of government in the world, and we need to make it work.
So one of the things that concerns me, and one of the reasons we're doing this, is that the really good people who, volunteer to coach their child's sports team and show up at the Rotary Club, that they're more and more becoming frustrated and exhausted by the whole political process and saying, I'm going to check out. And one of our messages is don't bail out. If those people that are kind of the heart and soul of America say, I've had it, I'm just so frustrated with the yelling back and forth, maybe I'll check in and vote in the general election. But that's just really, regardless of which party you're in, that's the wrong solution. The right solution is to engage in the process earlier. I mean, you might not like the primary process, but that's how we decide who's going to run in the general election. So if you're frustrated and exhausted, don't check out.
Yeah. When I was governor, one of the things I always enjoyed doing was going to these civic clubs and giving a talk and answering questions, Rotary and Kiwanis and those, for just the reason you described, which is it's just real people who are leaders in their community. It's not about some issue. And I always would come away from those encouraged that there's a lot of reasonable people who don't all share the same view about how to organize the world, but can easily get beyond that and do things for the good of their community and state and country.
Well, given the experiences you both have had and the wisdom that you have, and then in talking and engaging with the guests that you have on the podcast, simply, is there a checklist? Is there anything that we can do as individuals to be open and engaged in the process, but not hateful in the process?
Three or four things. Number one, don't check out themselves. I mean, that's the first thing, is be a part of the process. Number two, look for actual results from that person. What's their resume? Have they actually really solved problems before? Unfortunately, in my party, the Republicans have gotten pretty bad about this. The main criteria is somebody that will fight. Well, fighting's fine, but it doesn't necessarily solve a problem. I would say, fighting's nice, but winning is winning in terms of winning, solving the issues is really what we need. We have real problems, from third grade kids that can't read to budgets that won't balance to healthcare. I mean, we can go on and on about those. So it's a person that's wanting you to vote for them. Has he or she ever actually, do they have a resume that involves solving problems, not just being loud in a really attractive way?
I think of it like, if you had a family business that you spent time building up and it was time to hire somebody else to run it, is this a person you'd ever hire to do it? And obviously it's a person who hasn't solved problems and who's all talk and so on. That wouldn't necessarily be who you would pick. I also look for people in office who I think have something they believe in that they'd be willing to give up the office for, to accomplish. Those people are getting rarer and rarer. But I think that's really important. I like people who are grounded in their communities, and I think one of the things that's happened is it's gotten so difficult to run for office. I mean I can't tell you the psychological impact of all the negative advertising and your kids seeing all these things about you, and that I think fewer and fewer of people who are ordinary people who are grounded in their community see that as an attractive kind of thing to do. You have to be a little weird to run for office these days, and And that's unfortunate because that's not what the founders had in mind in our democracy.